This week, things aren't going well for the heroes of Masters of the Air. John Egan and Major Gale Cleven are stuck in a prisoner of war camp. Yes, you heard it right. Gale Cleven, Harry Crosby, is heading to Oxford University for a meeting among Allied nations. Even Rosenthal, the new favorite pilot of Masters of the Air, has been forced to take a break after being the sole survivor of the crew's last mission. It's clear that the bloody 100th Bombardiers are facing tough times, but there's a spark of hope on the horizon as the war takes a positive turn. Gale Cleven, alive and well, surprises everyone as he swings around the fence to greet Egan at the prisoners of war camp. "What the hell took you so long?" he asks, finally reuniting with his comrade. This line is reportedly what Cleven actually said to Egan in real life, adding an extra layer of authenticity to their reunion. Egan's response, "That's what I get for being sentimental," further highlights their genuine bond. It's rare in Hollywood adaptations of true events to capture such authentic moments without bending them. But in this case, the portrayal of Cleven and Egan's relationship rings true to reality. Now, the men are in a prisoner of war camp where several of the pilots from the bloody 100th ended up after being shot down over Munster and Bremen, Germany. They are about to face a fresh set of obstacles and challenges. A few of the crew members who survived the mission are so overcome with guilt that they are told to take it easy in the English countryside. Among them is Munster's hero, Rosenthal, but his desire to stay in the fight rather than rest and have a debriefing with medics is making him a little restless. Rosenthal exclaims that this relaxation trip has broken his rhythm. The next day, while playing cards, one of the crewmen recalls how Rosenthal's humming gave them hope during the Munster mission. With the aid of his friends and an on-site therapist, Dr. Hudson, a flight surgeon, who looks over the men, Rosenthal understands that he is responsible for the crew's rhythm. Because in order for Rosenthal to proceed as the final hero in the sky for the bloody 100th, he must have a clean head. Egan cautiously navigates the Westphalian wilderness, evading German soldiers. Unexpectedly, he encounters a group of children. Despite showing them mercy by not harming them, they betray him to the authorities. Egan attempts to flee but is apprehended by civilians, who subsequently deliver him to the military. He finds himself en route to a prisoner of war camp in Frankfurt, accompanied by fellow Americans and German guards. Along the way, they encounter an enraged mob, angered by recent Royal Air Force bombings in their neighborhood. The Americans come under attack, and tragically all are killed except for Egan, who narrowly escapes being shot. The following day, he wakes up to find two civilians transporting the bodies of his comrades on a cart for burial in the forest. Egan attempts to flee, but because he is severely injured, he is overcome by exhaustion. He collapses unconscious on the ground, only to be found later by German soldiers. They transport him to Stalag Luft in Frankfurt, where he undergoes processing for imprisonment. Surprisingly, his interrogating officer doesn't fit the typical German stereotype, behaving quite differently than expected. Talking about the Yankees and the World Series, he tries to console Egan. This tactic is a deceptive one. The officer mentions Cleven's absence in an attempt to anger him. That brings us to the conclusion. Egan is considered a spy because there is no record of him on the operation. When the officer asks to identify himself and talk about future American intentions, Egan declines to comply. Surprisingly, he was taken as a prisoner of war instead of a spy. The following morning, Egan and the other captured Americans are transported by train. The story takes a positive turn as they arrive at Stalag Luft III in Sagan, Germany. Here, they reunite with fellow prisoners of war, many of whom are from the 100th. Egan's face brightens with joy as he spots his old friends among them. It was a big surprise, and he was so excited and relieved, even though he is still a prisoner of war. Not just his friend Buck. Bucky realized that most of his comrades that were lost in action were actually captured as prisoners of war. Out of the 35 crews that originally departed with the 100th for England in 1943, only 3 remain. The rapid decline in numbers within just a few months is alarming. Harding and other leaders are focused on taking care of their remaining men. As part of this effort, Captain Crosby is dispatched to Balliol College in Oxford to participate in a symposium alongside numerous other representatives from the Allied forces. Sharing accommodations with subaltern Alessandra Westgate, a female officer, Crosby quickly forms a bond with her. Their friendship deepens as they exchange stories about their personal lives. The following day, they wander around the city together, even deciding to attend a party. Yet, their companionship is abruptly interrupted when Westgate receives an urgent message from the base. In episode 6, the show takes a different approach, shining a light on a crucial aspect of war. It emphasizes the heavy weight of tragedy that inevitably comes with it. While some, like Rosenthal, are itching to jump back into action without hesitation, others, like Crosby, deal with it in their own way, coping with the emotional toll in a different manner. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.